This video is an unboxing and review of the Ryobi 3300 PSI gas pressure washer, as well as the 15-inch surface cleaner that comes with it in the kit. Alright, the pressure washer just arrived. It was shipped through FedEx and doesn't look like there's any shipping damage, which is good. We'll see if it was flipped upside down because there will probably be oil on the inside if that's the case. Right off the bat, I'm already missing a part. It's supposed to come with a spray wand, which is just the extension piece that goes on the trigger. It's this piece. This is not in the box, so that's not good. I don't see it anywhere. It's not attached to it, and it's not anywhere right here. So I'm gonna pause the video and see if I should move forward with it or if I'm gonna have to return the whole box. I just got off the phone with Home Depot, and they're wanting me to completely return the whole unit and then go through all these hoops just to get the part. Since I already have the part, I'm just going to proceed using the part I have. So here's the gun. The part's supposed to screw in right here. And I had bought several kits to use with an aftermarket handle. So I'm just going to use some of the parts from my kit. So I should be able to use this is from one kit. This is just an extension kit, so this should be able to screw in right here like this. And then this came with the other one that I bought. This is the quick connect end right here. So this is a female thread right here, and then this is the quick connect end right here. So I'm gonna just use these together as a substitute for the part that should have come with this. Alright, so I already read the instructions online. It's actually on the Home Depot page for this. So I'm just going to quickly go through the assembly procedure. So basically I just need to add oil to this and then connect the hose and wand to the pump down there. Okay, after the oil, I'm going to add gasoline to the tank. Just going to connect the hose. The only difference I'm going to do is I use quick disconnects. So I'm just going to screw in this in right here. And then the hose, it has a switch right here, valve. So I'm just going to quick connect this like this. And I could turn it off and on like that, right there. Okay, we're now ready to start the engine, but before we do that, we got to purge the hose of all the air. Otherwise, the pump will be blowing air out. So I'm just going to turn this to one of the high flow options. So this soap one should work. Make sure the water is on and it should start to flow. So I'm just going to continue to hold this until there's no more sputters. Okay, so I bled the line completely. Here's the hose. You can see that it kinks very easily. It's very stiff. That's why most people suggest getting an aftermarket hose, because this is horrible. Unless you just barely use this, then you can probably get away with it. So now I'm going to start the pressure washer. So I've added oil and fuel, and I bled the line, and I have the water flowing. So I'm just going to follow the instructions. Basically, you just need to turn it to choke, turn the fuel to on, and turn the engine to on, and then just pull the cord. You could hold this so you can relieve pressure on the pump, and it'll turn much easier. Otherwise, you're going to be fighting against the pump. Shut it down real quick and make sure everything's fine. Okay, I turned the choke to run, and I'm just testing it. So right now it's just at idle, so I'm going to pull it and it'll immediately rev up. And it idles back down as soon as I release. So it looks like it's working correctly. Again, I'm going to pull it again. Okay, looks like everything's working. Okay, everything seems okay now, so I'm going to demonstrate the included tips. This is just the stock nozzle. So you have the long distance jet for soap, the short distance fan for soap, 0 degree, 25 degree, and 40 degree. So I'm just going to demonstrate on the concrete right here. This is smooth concrete and it's pretty dirty. So you'll be able to see the difference. Long distance soap. Soap fan, this is for short distance. Zero degree. Degree. And 40 degree. So there's a difference. Here's 1 degree. This is about 10 inches away. Here's the 25 degree, also about 10 inches. And you can see this a little bit. This is the 40 degree. So all pretty much the same. The 25 was able to clean it just as well as the 0 degree, but much faster, of course, because it had a much wider span. And the 40 degree has a little bit less cleaning, so not too bad. Alright, so I just opened up the surface cleaner. Has a pivoting quick connect right here, and nozzle cleaning tool, which is cool, I guess, in case these get plugged up. So if you look right here, this is just a bushing. So this is a screw which serves as the shaft, and looks like there's this grease inside here. So I read this in the comments that this will wear out just because it's not on bearings, and there's only grease inside, so that'll eventually get washed out, and then it'll be steel on steel. And then this will get wobbly and won't be able to spin anymore. So I'm going to see if I could prolong this by making sure that it's always greased, and I'll probably upgrade it to some high pressure type grease, a little more for marine application, and see if that sticks a little better and get a little more use out of this. So now I'm going to plug this up and see how this works on the concrete. Also, tip I have is to get an extension piece like this if you're going to be using the surface cleaner. That way you can just plug it in and you won't have to be leaning over, because this will get very tiring after a while. So this will come in handy, and this might feel loose, but once it's under pressure it'll straighten out and be stiff. Alright, I'm going to start at the edge of the concrete and then move back and see how it goes. Alright, here's a close-up of the clean concrete. So definite difference getting the surface dust. Whatever this stuff is, it wasn't able to get up. I don't know what that is. Could be fireworks or something. I don't know. But definitely cleans it and does it uniformly. So I don't really see any streaks. I just overlapped about 50% and then went slowly and consistently. It seemed okay. What I also noticed when I turned off the pressure washer is that there is a screw that dropped. So that's not good. I don't know where that goes. I'm guessing right here, now that I see, because this has 2 and this only has 1. So something to keep in mind. That braided loose, looks like. I need to make sure these are both spinning, because sometimes these will get clogged and only one will be outputting pressure, and that'll also cause it to not spin. So now I'm just going to do a quick time lapse showing me cleaning the rest of this patio. Okay, so I have about 5 hours of use with the pressure washer. I ended up cleaning all the concrete at my house, and I also pressure washed one of my rentals, the exterior siding, in preparation for paint. I have a good amount of usage between the surface cleaner and then the normal spray wand, just using a nozzle on the end spraying, and it performed okay. It was pretty fuel efficient. The idle down is kind of hit or miss. Sometimes it works. It takes a little while to warm up before it works correctly. And I think it's actually idling lower than it should be, because it could rev up a lot more if I manually pull the throttle. so something might need adjustment there. As far as the weight, it was very lightweight. I was able to pick it up easily into the truck and transfer it. Haven't had really any issues with the pump or the engine. As far as the gun that comes with it, I didn't really use it much. It's kind of awkward with the attachment point underneath it right here instead of at the end, and the hose that comes with it is very stiff, and unless you leave it out in the sun to unravel and get the coil out, it's pretty much unmanageable and will kink very easily, so I wouldn't suggest using it. The stock setup for the pressure washer is okay, so now I'm going to go over some upgrades that made a big difference in ergonomics and usability of it. So first thing I would do is put quick disconnects on the input and the output of the pressure washer, so that you could just connect this to your garden hose. That way you can quickly disconnect it and connect it. This really helps with moving the pressure washer, so you don't have to have a heavy hose attached to it. I think this is the water hose input right here, and this is the pressure hose output. So this is the first thing I would do. The second thing I would do is get rid of the hose because it's unmanageable the way it is, and I upgraded to a larger diameter hose. I think the stock is a 1/4 inch. I upgraded to a 3/8 inch normal hydraulic type hose, and I also put quick disconnects on it, of course. And as far as the gun, I upgraded it to a in connect right here, and also have a quick disconnect on that. The stock hose, the way these are set up, these are I think M22 connectors. With the stock hose, both ends are female threads, so keep that in mind if you're going to use quick disconnects, because the normal pressure washer hoses have one male end and one female end on the quick disconnect, so you have to get another quick disconnect that matches so that you can connect your gun to the hose, and then the other end of the hose can connect to the pressure washer. The way I ordered the hose, it came with I think 2 female ends, so I couldn't use it as is. I had to get a different quick disconnect end. So I had to put the quick disconnect on this so that this was the female end on both sides of the quick disconnect. So it threaded on the female end right here, and then was also a quick disconnect right here, female end. And the other thing is to get a lightweight water hose, I got a little expandable one. This worked out great because you could quickly move it and connect to a different hose on your house, and this quickly forces all the water out, so it's really light to move. It's also very flexible, so which is really nice. And the other upgrades are definitely get extensions for your gun so you can reach up in high areas. This is essential to get up into the gables and the peaks of the house. So you can attach as many of these as you want, and they're just quick disconnects. So your nozzles go on the end of it. And for pressure washing the house, the turbo nozzles are essential to really get the dirt off and get it clean without damaging it. So this is just a small nozzle that rotates rapidly, just like the surface cleaner, and also a pivoting head. So you could put the nozzle in here, and then this pivots at different angles. So you could, say you want to get the trim, you could put this at 90 degrees and stand on the ground and hit the trim directly. If you hit it at a straight angle, then you might force water in the areas like under the siding, in between the laps, which you don't want. The nozzle that came with it was perfectly fine, other than it didn't have a turbo nozzle on it, which would be kind of difficult. But for a normal straight nozzle, this worked great, especially the soap versions. That's also nice, so I didn't have to get a separate soap attachment. The surface cleaner itself is also great. I put better quality grease on the bushing, so hopefully it lasts longer, it doesn't wear out. Because once it starts wearing out, it'll start seizing up and you won't be able to use it. Also, I made sure and depressurized the hose if I killed it. So also I noticed you have to let it idle down for a few seconds before killing it, otherwise it'll have a pop at the end. Because it shut off at a high idle, the extra gas will ignite. If I followed those steps, so I depressurized it and let it idle down before shutting it off, it would start one crank every time. As far as my final thoughts, the stock setup is not ideal with the hose. It's kind of not usable. I could use it as a backup, but I'd only want to use it for a little bit because it would fatigue you pretty quickly trying to work with it. Overall, I get the pressure washer at 4 out of 5 stars because you can upgrade it for maybe $100 to get a new wand and hose. But at this price point, I think it's fine. This is between $400 and $500. So I'm going to change the oil, and I'll give any updates if the pump goes out. I'm going to pressure wash this house as well in preparation for painting. So that'll be another 1 to 2 hours of use on it, and that'll bring up the 7 hours. And that's it. Thanks for watching.